Hey there, welcome back to Pulse Point. It seems like everyone's thinking about the future of work these days, and honestly, it can feel a little overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of people are talking about it, and it can definitely make you anxious. But the truth is, the future of work has so many exciting possibilities. The key is to really understand the changes that are already happening and use that to your advantage.
So let's get right to it. What's actually changing? Why should we care? What can we do about it? This is what this Pulse Point is all about.
Exactly. Let's start with something that always seems to get everyone's attention. Robots and automation taking over jobs. The World Economic Forum predicts that by 2025, automation could displace 85 million jobs.
85 million. Wow, that's a lot of jobs. I can see why people are worried.
It's a big shift, no doubt. But here's the thing. The same report also predicts 97 million new jobs will be created. It's not about not having jobs in the future, it's about needing new skills for new jobs.
So there will actually be more jobs than there are now. That's a relief. But what kind of jobs? What skills will we need?
That's the important question. Technology isn't just automating the tasks we do, it's changing how we work. This means we need a new set of skills, and it's not just about coding or becoming a robot expert.
Oh, good, because I'm not sure I could do either of those. So what skills should we be thinking about?
It's helpful to think about the essential skills in three main categories. First, you have your technical skills, like being able to use technology. This starts with being comfortable with the basics, like common computer programs, spreadsheets, presentations, online communication tools, things most people are already using.
Basic digital skills.
Go ahead.
Got it. What else is considered a technical skill?
Another big one is data analysis. It's not just for tech people anymore. Understanding and analyzing data is becoming so important in all kinds of fields like marketing and finance, healthcare, and even the arts. Data is everywhere these days, and knowing how to use it to make decisions is like having a superpower.
You always hear that data is king. Okay, basic digital skills and data analysis. What's the third technical skill we need?
The third one is understanding artificial intelligence and machine learning. But don't worry, you don't have to become a coding expert overnight, but it will be really valuable to understand how these technologies work, what they can do, and how they can be used.
So it's more about understanding the power of AI and not necessarily becoming an AI expert.
Exactly. Now, the second category of skills is what we call human-centric skills. These are the things that robots can't do, at least not yet.
So these are the things that humans are still better at. I like the sound of that. Tell me more.
This is where things like creativity and innovation are really important. Machines can do math and follow algorithms, but they can't come up with completely new ideas or solve problems in new ways. That's still something humans do best.
I knew there was a reason I minored in creative writing. Okay, so creativity and innovation. What other human skills are going to be in high demand?
Emotional intelligence, or EQ, is a big one. It's about understanding and managing your own emotions and being aware of other people's emotions. As automation increases, EQ is going to be even more important for being a good leader working in teams and building strong relationships.
I see what you mean. Robots might be able to process information faster, but they can't really connect with people on an emotional level. So we have creativity, innovation, and emotional intelligence. What else?
Collaboration is really key. As work becomes more complex and interconnected, it's going to be more and more important to be able to work well with others. And this isn't just about working on a team in an office. The future of work will probably involve working with people from different fields, different time zones, even different cultures.
So being a good team player and being able to adapt to different ways of working are definitely going to be important. All right, so we've talked about technical skills and human-centric skills. What's that third category you mentioned?
This category is all about adapting to change and always being willing to learn. We call it lifelong learning and adaptability. And it's not just about learning some new skills once and being done. It's about always learning, unlearning, and relearning all throughout your career.
So it's not just about what you know. It's about how quickly you can learn new things and adapt to new situations. It's like being flexible, right?
Exactly. There are two really important skills in this category: resilience and learning agility. Resilience is about being able to bounce back after setbacks, which are definitely going to happen in a world that's constantly changing.
Resilience. We could all use a little more of that. What about learning agility? Is that like being able to learn things really fast?
It's more about being willing to learn and unlearn and relearn. Technology is always changing, industries are shifting, and new information is being created all the time. The people who will be most successful in the future of work are the ones who can embrace change and adapt their skills to keep up with it.
I'm starting to see a pattern here. It's not just about having specific skills. It's about having the right mindset and being willing to adapt and never stop learning.
That's it. It's that growth mindset, that willingness to embrace change and continue learning that will really make people stand out.
This is all great, but I'm sure our listeners are thinking, okay, this is helpful.
Yeah.
But what can I actually do to prepare myself right now? What's step one?
The first step is to figure out where you are right now. Do a skills inventory. What are you good at? What are your strengths? What skills are you missing? Be honest with yourself about where you might need to improve.
Okay, do a self-assessment. That can be kind of scary, but I guess it's important to figure out where you can grow.
Definitely. And don't be afraid to be specific. How comfortable are you with different digital tools? How are your data analysis skills? Do you have a basic understanding of AI and how it's used? Once you have a good understanding of your current skills, you can start planning how to improve in areas where you need to.
Okay, step one is skills inventory. What's next?
Step 2 is to commit to lifelong learning. I know that might sound like a lot, but it doesn't have to be. There are a lot of great resources available these days to help you learn and grow. Have you ever tried those online learning platforms?
I've tried a few. They seem pretty easy to use.
They are. Platforms like Coursera have in-depth courses. Some even lead to degrees. And Udemy has a lot of more affordable options for just about any topic you can imagine. There's really something for everyone.
I like the idea of committing to lifelong learning. It doesn't have to be overwhelming, and it could even be fun. What's step three?
Step 3 is building your personal brand. It's about showing off your expertise and connecting with other people in your field. And the best way to do that is with LinkedIn.
LinkedIn, the social network for professionals. I have a profile, but I don't use it that much. What should I be doing?
Think of your LinkedIn profile as your resume for the future. Highlight your skills, experience, projects, achievements, anything that shows your value to potential employers or collaborators.
So it's not just about having a profile. It's about using it to build my network and show
Wow.
what I can do.
Exactly. Share articles and thoughts about things related to your field. Participate in discussions and connect with people who inspire you or who work in areas that you're interested in. Having a strong online presence is really important today.
Okay, so step one is assess my skills. Step two is commit to lifelong learning. And step three is build my personal brand on LinkedIn. What's next?
Step 4 is all about networking and collaboration. The future of work is all about connecting with others.
Networking. Everyone always says you have to network, but it can feel awkward and forced. Any tips to make it feel less icky and more natural?
The first thing is to change how you think about it. Don't think of it as networking. Think of it as building relationships.
I like that. It's about connecting with people, not just trying to get something from them.
Exactly. Focus on having genuine conversations with people who share your interests or work in fields that you're curious about. And remember, it goes both ways. Be willing to help others share your knowledge and offer support. That's how you build relationships that last.
So go to events, join online communities, or even just reach out to someone on LinkedIn whose work I like.
Yes, put yourself out there, have those conversations, and see what happens. You never know, a simple coffee chat could turn into a job, offer a chance to work together on a project, or even a lifelong friendship.
So many possibilities when you connect with new people. Networking is really about opening doors and trying new things.
And don't forget, building a strong network takes time and effort. It's not something you do just once. Keep in touch with the people you meet and be someone who others can rely on. That's how you build a community of people who can support you and inspire you in your career.
This has been so insightful. We've covered a lot, the big trends, the essential skills, specific actions to take, and those examples were really helpful. I feel much more prepared for whatever the future holds.
We've just scratched the surface, but hopefully it's given you a good foundation to start thinking about your own future of work.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling motivated and ready to take on whatever comes next. But that's all the time we have for part one of this Pulse Point episode.
But don't worry, we'll be back soon with part 2, where we'll go even deeper into the strategies and ways of thinking that will help you thrive in the future of work.
Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. Until then, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, you have the power to create your own future.
Welcome back to Pulse Point.
It's great to be back for part 2 of our deep dive into the future of work.
In part 1, we talked about all the huge changes that are happening in the way we work, the skills we need to be successful, and we even gave you a plan to get started.
There was a lot to cover.
There was.
Now I'm ready to go even deeper.
Great. In this part, we're going to explore how to change your way of thinking and what strategies you can use so you can not just survive, but really thrive in the future of work.
It's not just about learning a new software program, right? It seems like it's a lot more than that.
You're right. It's about changing how you think about work, about your career, even about yourself. It's like leveling up your whole professional life.
Okay, I'm ready to level up. How do we start?
One of the biggest changes you can make is to embrace what's called a growth mindset. Have you heard of that before?
Growth mindset. Yeah, I've heard that phrase before, but I'm not really sure I understand what it means. What does it mean when we're talking about work?
Basically, a growth mindset is the belief that you can always learn and get smarter. It's about believing that you can grow and learn new things no matter what stage you're at in your career.
So even if I feel stuck in my job or like I don't have the right skills for my dream job, if I have a growth mindset, I can still change and improve.
Exactly. It's about seeing challenges as opportunities to learn and get better, not as things that stop you. And that's really important in a world where things are always changing so fast.
I can see how that would be helpful.
Yeah,
In the past, you could maybe have the same skills your whole career, but things are changing too fast for that now.
that's true. The ability to learn new things, adapt, and keep growing is absolutely necessary in the future of work. So how do we develop this growth mindset?
Yeah, that's a good question. How do we change how we think in such a big way?
Start by paying attention to how you talk to yourself, especially when you're facing a challenge. Do you say things like, I'm not good at this, or I'll never be able to learn this?
Oh yeah, all the time. I could be really hard on myself.
We all do it to some degree, but those negative thoughts can really hold you back. So the next time you start thinking those negative thoughts, try to challenge them.
So instead of saying, I can't, I should say something like, I can't yet, but I'm going to figure it out.
Exactly. Remind yourself that you can always learn new things. Focus on what you can do and how you can improve.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
Instead of getting discouraged by challenges, I can use them to learn and get better. Are there any other tips for developing a growth mindset?
Surround yourself with people who inspire you and encourage you to grow. Find mentors, join communities of people who are learning and growing too. Connect with people who are doing exciting things in your field or areas that you're interested in.
It's like that saying, you become like the people you spend the most time with. So if I want to improve, I need to be around people who are already doing that.
Exactly. And remember, being curious is a big part of having a growth mindset. Don't be afraid to ask questions, learn new things, and try new approaches. The more you learn, the more you'll grow.
I'm liking this idea of growth mindset, being curious, being willing to learn, being around inspiring people. It's like a whole new way of thinking. Okay, so a growth mindset is important. What other strategies can we use to be successful in the future of work?
Here's one you might not expect: become a T-shaped professional.
A T-shaped professional. Okay, I'm interested now. What does that mean?
Picture the letter T in your mind. The vertical line of the T is your deep knowledge in one specific area. This is your main skill set, what you specialize in.
Okay, I get it. That's what I'm really good at, the area I focus on the most.
Exactly. Now think about the horizontal line of the T. This is your broader knowledge and skills in other areas outside of your specialty. It's like having a lot of different tools you can use.
So it's not just about being really good at one thing, but also having a basic understanding of other things that might be connected or useful.
Right. In the future of work, being an expert in one area is great, but being an expert who also knows a little bit about other areas makes you even more valuable and adaptable.
I can see how that would give me more opportunities. If I'm too focused on just one thing, I might miss out on chances that need a wider range of skills.
Exactly. So how do you become a T-shaped professional? Start by figuring out what your main area of expertise is, what are you really passionate about, and what are you really good at. This is your vertical line.
Step 1, find my vertical line. Okay, what's next?
Then start exploring other areas that either build on your main skills or that you're just interested in. These don't have to be totally different, just things that expand your knowledge and make you more well-rounded.
So like taking a course in something related to my field, or maybe even something completely different just to challenge myself.
Exactly. Take online courses, workshops, read books, talk to people in different fields. There are so many ways to learn new things. The key is to be proactive and make the effort to branch out.
It's about being curious, being open to learning, and being willing to try new things.
You got it. The great thing about being a T-shaped professional is that it makes you more adaptable, more valuable to employers, and it opens up more career options for you. You become someone with lots of skills who can contribute in different ways.
I really like this idea of a T-shaped career. It's about being both specialized and well-rounded, which seems perfect for a world where things are always changing.
It is. It's all about being prepared for the future, being able to adapt to different roles, industries, and challenges.
This is giving me so many ideas. I'm already thinking about how I can start learning new skills to go along with my current expertise.
That's great to hear. Remember, the future of work is all about continuous learning, staying curious, and being willing to change. You have the power to shape your own future, and that's pretty amazing.
It is exciting. It makes the future less scary and more like something I can control.
I love that. Well, that's all the time we have for part 2 of this Pulse Point episode.
Don't worry, we'll be back soon with part 3, where we'll tell you about some actual tools and resources you can use to build your future of work toolkit. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. In part 3, we'll talk about everything from online learning platforms to career coaching to networking strategies that actually work.
Get ready to take your journey into the future of work to the next level.
Welcome back to Pulse Point. This is the final part of our deep dive into the future of work.
We've covered so much ground already. The big trends happening in the workplace, the essential skills you need to succeed, the power of having a growth mindset, and even what it means to be a T-shaped professional.
It's been a really insightful journey, but now I'm ready for the action plan. What tools and resources can we actually use to build that future of work toolkit we've been talking about?
Let's get into it. In this last part, we're going to give you practical tips and strategies and even tell you about specific places you can go right now to get started.
I'm ready. Let's hear it.
We've talked a lot about lifelong learning, and the good news is that learning new things has never been easier or more affordable. Online learning platforms are amazing resources.
They really are. But there are so many of them, it's hard to know where to start. What are some of your favorites?
One of the best is Coursera. They partner with top universities and companies to offer a huge variety of courses on everything from data science and AI to business humanities, you name it.
I've heard of Coursera. I
Right.
think they even offer degrees and professional certificates, right?
Yeah.
That'd be a good way to make my resume look even better.
Exactly. And if you're looking for something that's a little more flexible and easier on the wallet, Udemy is another great option. They have thousands of courses on just about any topic you can think of, usually taught by people who are actually working in those fields. They have everything from tech skills to creative hobbies.
I love how specific those Udemy courses can get. You can really find a course on almost anything, and their prices are pretty good, especially when they have sales.
And then there's LinkedIn Learning. If you're already using LinkedIn to connect with people like we talked about before, their learning platform is a natural next step. They have a really great selection of courses that focus on business, tech, and creative skills, all taught by professionals.
So many choices. Coursera for university-level courses, Udemy for affordability and variety, and LinkedIn Learning to learn skills that can help me in my career.
Exactly. And honestly, those are just a few examples. There are a ton of other online learning platforms out there that focus on different interests and ways of learning. The important thing is to explore and find what works for you and just get started.
There's so much knowledge out there, and it's easier to access than ever. I love it. Okay, so we've talked about online learning platforms. What's next in our future of work toolkit?
Let's talk about career coaching. Have you ever worked with a career coach?
I haven't, but I've heard it can be really helpful,
Eh.
especially if you're feeling lost or unsure about what you want to do with your career.
It can make a big difference, especially now when the world is changing so quickly. A good career coach can help you figure out your goals, identify your strengths, and create a plan to reach your goals. They can even help you stay on track, which a lot of us need.
It's like having someone to cheer you on and give you advice all at the same time. That sounds really helpful.
It is. They're there to guide you, support you, and help you make smart choices about your career. It's not about them telling you what to do. It's about them helping you figure out what you want to do.
Okay, I'm convinced. But how do you find a good career coach? Where do you even begin?
Asking people you know is always a good place to start. Ask your friends, colleagues, mentors if they have any recommendations. People love to share about who's helped them on their journey.
What about online platforms? Are there any that connect people with career coaches?
Yes. Sites like Coach.me or Numi let you search for coaches based on their specialties, how much experience they have, even their coaching style. You can read reviews, watch videos, and some even offer free consultations so you can see if they're a good fit.
It's like online dating, but for your career. That's a great idea.
And don't forget about your own network. Reach out to people you admire who have careers that inspire you. Ask for advice, or even if they'd be willing to mentor you.
Mentorship is so important. I've had mentors before, and it really helps to have someone who can offer guidance and support. All right, so we've got online learning platforms and career coaching in our toolkit. What else?
We can't forget about networking. We touched on this in the last episode, but I want to emphasize that making genuine connections with people is crucial for the future of work.
Networking. Everyone always says you have to network, but it can feel so awkward and fake. Any tips for making it feel less icky and more, well, human?
The first thing is to change how you think about it. Don't think of it as networking. Think of it as building relationships.
I like that better. It's about getting to know people, not just using them to get ahead.
Exactly. Focus on having real conversations with people who share your interests or who work in fields that you're curious about. And remember, it's not just about what you can get from others. Be willing to help other people share your knowledge and offer support. That's how you build relationships that are genuine and that last.
So go to events, join online communities, or even just message someone on LinkedIn whose work I like.
Yes. Put yourself out there, have those conversations, and see where they lead. You never know, a simple coffee chat could turn into a job off and chance to work together on a project, or even a lifelong friendship.
There are so many possibilities when you're open to connecting with new people. Networking is really about opening doors and exploring new things.
And remember, building a strong network takes time and effort. It's not a one-time thing. Stay in touch with the people you meet and be someone who others can count on. That's how you build a supportive community of people around you.
Wow, this deep dive into the future of work has been incredible. We've explored the trends, the skills, the mindset shifts, and now we have all these amazing tools and resources to help us take action. I feel much more prepared and honestly excited about what the future holds.
That's great to hear. Remember, the future isn't something that just happens to you. You have the power to create it.
And with the right mindset, the right skills, and the right tools, we can all shape our own future of work and make it something we're truly passionate about.
So embrace the possibilities, stay curious, keep learning, and never stop growing.
Thank you so much for joining us on this journey into the future of work. We hope you feel inspired and ready to take action. And remember,
Subscribe to Pulse Point for more updates on shaping your future.